Pablo, what do you got here?
Alright, so we just picked up the most clapped Integra I've ever seen. But literally GSR matching VIN Integra, and this thing is an absolute unit. And my boy Joey, also from Real Street, we came out together during lunch break. And right off the bat, it was low on oil, obviously. So let's see. I got some on there.
Bruh.
Oh my God, this is going awful. It needs brake fluid too. I need some napkins. He had one crusty napkin in there. So check out the brake fluid. Also, I had the red light in the dash. No brake fluid, things clapped. I wonder if it's leaking brake fluid, probably. But we out here. Let's go get some brake fluid too. Look at this little quick mark by the side of I-4 in Orlando. Had some brake fluid as well. Joey's spec over here filling it up with some gas. And this thing, when I tell you it's clapped, it's literally clapped. The inside is, oh, there's some lower control arms right there. That's actually not that bad. It's got a Type R wing. That's in gear, isn't it?
It is.
That's in gear. All that play. It's pretty clapped. It's not actually a Type R, obviously. We got fake Type R wheels. GSR, which is the craziest thing. I saw this come up on Facebook Marketplace today. It was posted 17 hours ago when we pulled up. And I can't believe that it didn't sell before because it's a GSR. But if somebody came to see this, I can understand why they might not have wanted to buy it, because it is really clapped. And there goes the brake fluid. You gonna pump it a couple times?
Hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock? Boom, bled. Let's see the clutch. Clutch fluid has clutch fluid. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna drive back to work, obviously, because we need to go back to work. And later tonight, we're gonna get to looking a little closer what's up with this thing. All right, so let's start it up for you guys. It actually starts really easy, but it is misfiring pretty horrendously. Or maybe some bad injectors. I thought that guy was about to hit me. But yeah, this thing's clapped, guys.
Pablo!
This thing sucks! You can literally hear the misfire, so apparent. Oh man, is that a Lambo? It is a Lambo. Man, let's try to race it. Honestly, he's probably jealous of the Integra. I just pulled up to work. I got our first victim right here. Julio, what do you think?
I like your Subaru.
How clapped is this thing? Just by looking at it from the outside.
It looks like a clapper.
It's so clapped.
It's a solid 1 out of 10.
Isn't it?
It stopped smoking on the drive though.
Bro, it cleared up a little bit. I think it's a fuel injector.
Oh yeah.
Bro, look at the patch on this.
You're gonna unclog it and it's gonna be fine.
I hope so.
I think I have stock injectors at home.
There we go. Easy.
I should have clapped this.
It's clap.
Hell yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
Yo, it's mint.
Get the.
You know how like people patina their
Oh, the Type R, not the Type R.
you know how people patina their antiques? That's all this is.
Pre-done.
Yeah, perfectly round. You know what's crazy?
Dude, just violating the new Integra. If those shocks weren't already blown, they're blown. All right, that's mint. That sounds like a good running OEM GSR. It's good. You got your seatbelt on?
No.
Me neither. I'm gonna put it on. Oh man, it's so good. Look at that. Perfect transition on to off throttle. Holy crap! Yo! That VTEC pop! Hold on. Yo! Alright, one more time. This is partial throttle. Bro, that is definitely, it's gotta be tuned. Because I don't think it's supposed to transition on like 20% throttle. I don't think so. It feels so good to be back in a hoopty, guys. I almost don't want to get rid of this car now. So obviously we got this at a crazy deal and both got to a number that we were happy. I wanted to pay less, obviously. You always want to pay less. But we also needed to take his finances into account. obviously he was still making some money with it because he got it because his brother works at a junkyard and it was about to be destroyed and he saved it. But it was a good deal. But even though this car is a total piece, I kind of want to keep it because the VTEC pops so well. We just got done with my wife's K24 build and it's got VTEC obviously, but nothing speaks like a high popping B-Series VTEC build. And oh my God, have I missed the NA B-Series VTEC. First thoughts, Joey?
Crack is amazing.
So good. That VTEC, bro, VTEC just kicked in, yo. Got the wing on. It has one bolt hole on each side. The thing is freaking destroyed and it's like all rusted. So I'm gonna hand tighten it. But this is clap. Put it down real quick. Don't close it all the way, but Type R, dude. Literally Type R. All right, so this is the afternoon time, obviously. The car got a little bit of a facelift by getting the spoiler on it last night. And I got a little bit of facelift because I got my haircut. Shout out to my barber yearly. Appreciate you, bro. And we got the gang over here. It is Friday afternoon. We do what's called Friday night drag. So we get all the slow cars in the shop and the area. Don't take offense. And because they got to get down on no prep. This is the surface you guys see. And we do a little drag race. So basically first and second gear. And we see who has like the king of the night or whatever. That e-brake literally does not work. Did it even spin the tires? A little bit?
Something.
Okay.
I did something. He was smoking.
It's not great at doing burnouts. It's just meant for that no prep racing. You know what I mean?
Got beat.
Bro, what happened? That's funny. He's got good tires. What can I say? I'll run it back.
Bro, he got the Honda racing
Just run it back,
tires,
just run it
bro. Goes running the hazards right here.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
All right, well, this YouTube channel officially belongs to somebody else now. I've obviously lost the rights to it, but no, that was cool. The VTEC Engage is pretty good, you gotta admit. It sounds
sound
nice. But Jordan won, obviously. He's got nice tires, and we aired these up to 40 pounds to do a burnout. That also didn't do too great of a burnout. But when you shift, like, you feel the whole motor rocking back and forth because it's on the stock mounts. And for being a fun-sounding car, it's definitely not a fast car. I can't believe I lost to that. I can't believe I lost the race to that. No offense, Jordan, but come on now. Now that's power, baby. All right, so it's been a little bit of time since we took the white Integra out and did some stuff. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do what the original vision was of building that car up and getting it to a nice, happy street car slash mess around car that we don't have too much money invested in. As you guys saw, that chassis itself was completely, and I mean completely clapped. Luckily, a lot of the parts that were on it were really salvageable, and what we ended up doing was parting out the car. A lot of the parts, like the subframe or power steering components or window regulators, a whole bunch of the little trinkets, interior pieces, the headliner, things like that, went to the people that were around us. A lot of local people picked up a lot of good parts. And then I also did ship out a few parts. And I actually also kept some parts for my race car because that is a DC2 or DC4 Integra as well. So what happened after that? The car got parted out. When it came down to the bare shell, I thought, man, maybe this car could be used for like a K-swap in the future. Keep the bare chassis. Doesn't matter if it's all cut up and ugly. But when I started looking underneath the car, there was a lot of rot, a lot of rust, and a whole bunch of the areas where need There needs to be structural integrity. We're just completely rotted away. $66 is what I got at the junkyard for the bare shell. Now I'm talking about bare shell. There was nothing inside, there was nothing outside. There were a few wires here and there, but most of the wiring harnesses, from the body harnesses, the taillight harnesses, the underdash harnesses, most of that stuff ended up getting sold or used in another car. So aside from that, we have another little treat for you guys. The 4-door K24 Integra that we teased a little bit earlier in the video actually made it to the dyno a couple days later. And even on the little base map that was on it, we were able to put it on the dyno and see how healthy it was living. And let's remember, this is a stock K24. It has bolt-ons, but there is nothing from valve cover to oil pan that has been touched. It doesn't even have a 50-degree VTC or an oil pump. And we will do some modifications in the future. The plan is to add nitrous at some point down the line and also do some more aggressive NA stuff. I think there's the possibility of maybe testing some ITBs. That's still to be talked about in the future, but it'd be really cool if we could do some stuff like that. It does have a big tube header, so the supporting mods for more NA power is there, and we haven't leaned on it yet, especially with components like the VTC, phasing, as well as the timing map. So there's a lot of stuff that we can add, and it is still on pump gas. So take your guesses right now, let me know in the comments, and let's check out what that stock K24 made on the dyno. Michael's doing his final checks on the straps. Make sure we're all good to go. Obviously, this is a 4-wheel drive dyno, and it can retract or extend to the specific chassis that you're working with. Since it's front-wheel drive, we just have the front tires on the dyno rollers, and the rear just basically being held. We have a quick few settings right there for the cars that are common in here, and we're just gonna get this started and do a couple baseline hits. There you go, Bobby. And Michael Thomas, everyone. Here we go. This is our fully in-house done K24a JDM engine with a whole bunch of OEM style accessories. We have a hybrid racing power steering kit, as well as their AC kit. We have a full fuel system from the hard lines forward, underdash, no cut shifter. There's a whole bunch of things that are to make this car as OEM functioning as possible. And I think that it's gonna be a really nice daily. You like that? So we're getting the calibrations correct for the dyno. And that's the mile an hour RPM and everything to make sure that you have the correct torque and horsepower reading.
Check the straps one more time, and then we should be good to go.
Nice. All right, put a final guess in the comments, guys. Like I said, we have our list right here. And let's get the final guess down below to see what we're actually gonna make on this stock K-Pro mapped 1000cc stock K24a. What's it gonna be? 207? Damn!
That's dog shit.
What the hell happened right there? What the heck? Is that really 207 horsepower? Can that really be 207?
And it's 0% smoothing, so there's nothing like hiding anything.
It's a lot of power. It was loud?
Oh my god.
It was pretty loud, right?
I heard it outside.
So that's 0% smoothing right there, so the graph is kind of nasty, and obviously this gets cleaned up once it's tuned. But can it really be 207 wheel horsepower? 168 torque? That thing's got to be moving if that's the case, right?
I mean, it's a real number. That's just so loud it feels slow.
What was your guess?
Fucking like 150, 140.
You cheating, bro. Fake, right? Yeah, it's fake. It's these tires, bro.
It's the tires. The slicks, they're hooking up too much.
Bro, no way it made that much power. I'm actually surprised. There's nothing on it.
Yeah, it should really be making like 170 or something.
I mean, but so this doesn't lie, right? So this is exactly what it is. There's nothing hidden behind it. There's no additional correction factor outside of the standard correction, which is all dynos.
For smoothness.
Most dynos use.
Missing his intake.
Well, it's not
the water mount bolt.
Yeah.
The water mount bolt.
The bolt?
Bolt.
There's 2 bolt mounts from the factory. This adds the air curvature, so that's what it does right there. It's a giant header. It's got a lot of airflow.
That's cool.
206
really cool.
horsepower right there.
I definitely didn't expect it. I really thought it was going to be like the 180, 190.
I literally thought it was gonna be 160, 170, something like that.
Nah, like 180. 180 makes sense.
Is there
a
any
cam-
possibility?
cam?
It's a stock camshaft. Is there any possibility that these numbers are skewed by correction for air or anything like that?
I don't think so, but the only thing I guess I can change here is I noticed that the drum is not on RPM.
Okay.
It's on gear. It was on wheel speed, but like it shows a drop in RPM.
Right.
I'm not necessarily sure if there's an issue there that caused that, but it wouldn't lose. It wouldn't lose that sort of power. I don't think in the RPM unless that's where VTEC kicks over. Sorry, not RPM, but it,
Right. So I think VTEC's in the factory somewhere around this range.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's a lot of power.
That is a lot of power.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a little short ram on there. Kevin's got the fake air going through it. Do another run to see if it's any different. So I let off a little early. I asked him not to rev it too much because of the stock K24 pump. 205. Crazy.
All we do is put a filter on. And the filter looks like shit.
That's an old filter.
I told him
Take the filter off.
I told him.
Just run it with.
It's starving.
Kevin was dancing with that. Big K series guy right there. And 205 back to back right there. 205 1.19, 155 torque on there. Letting off earlier as well. That was the first. This is the last. All right, so there's another setting on the dyno that we went back and looked at it. And Michael's going to talk a little bit more about that. He knows more about the calibrations and whatnot. Yeah. I'm kind of a novice to that. So Michael, if you want to take over right there.
Yeah, I don't mind explaining. So Pablo's going to put it on the graph in a second, but essentially we took all of the correction factor off. So what does that mean? That means that the system typically runs in a standard or SAE corrected factor that it's balanced by temperature, barometric pressure, and basically all of the air density that's around you. And it does a correction factor for that, and it gives it the best possible outcome based on the best day that it can be. So like, I don't remember exactly what it is that DynoJet sets it at, but it's like 70 degrees with, you're at 0 elevation with like perfect temperatures. So that's what the correction factors are typically kind of built off of. Well, when we do it without any sort of correction factor, it still makes a lot of power, which is at over 200 to the tire. So if you want to turn it around and show everybody, I mean, you can look at it on the graph right now. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty wild when you consider the only correction difference, like you said, in a perfect situation is about 5 horsepower. Yeah. It's super impressive considering the only thing we have done to this is a K-Pro with updated ECU settings for the injectors and things like bigger throttle body, intake manifold, and big tube header. So none of this has been tuned for all those parts yet. It's just making a lot of power from what it is. So imagine this if we had like a camshaft.
Yeah,
and a nice tune or nitrous or something.
Once it gets cleaned up, the middle of the graph too will kind of go away. Like it'll look really smooth, but like 200 horsepower for this. I mean, what is it? It's in a K24a from Japan. Okay.
Yeah, so that's straight out of JDM Express. From valve cover to oil pan, nothing has been touched. We changed the valve cover, obviously, because it's the nice aesthetic one, but literally nothing has been changed inside of the engine, and it's a $950 engine that you can pick up at JDM Express or any JDM shop near you. It's pretty wild.
That's wild.
It's super cheap, affordable, and I think K-Series is... I'm gonna say it. K is definitely the way, and it's happening.
Coming from a V guy.
It's happening. But let's turn around. I'll show you a little bit closer on the map, and obviously you already saw it, the still frame of it earlier. So right here you see the max power. This is the pass that was 206, I believe, followed by the 205 and then 205. This is that same pool, but under the uncorrected settings, like Michael is explaining. And there's that dip right before VTEC that we went over. This normally gets corrected under fine tuning, and you have your aftermarket tuners that will basically add power right here in that transition period, and you'll have a bit bit of a smoother line. Obviously, it is under smoothing 5, and that just makes sure that the graph itself is a more linear path rather than all the little hiccups that you'll normally see on a map or on a dyno graph. So this is really impressive. I think for an uncorrected, let's say just 200 horsepower, wheel horsepower for this little stock K24, I think that's pretty good. All in all, I'm really happy with this setup so far.